This video is brought to you by 3, bringing you 4G at no extra cost.
Hey guys, welcome to BTech. It's Basil here with a Motorola Moto X and a Sony Xperia Z3 Compact. The Xperia Z3 Compact brings a Z3 flagship spec to a smaller chassis, and that's exactly what the Motorola Moto X did last year, one of the most successful handsets in the US. It brings a kind of flagship experience, if not spec, to a smaller form factor. 4.7-inch AMOLED display. You've also got a really nice ergonomic in-hand feel and a whole load of things to just make it smarter than the average Android. How do they compare though? Well, that's what this video is all about. We're going to kick off by talking about the design, and you can see, despite the fact that there's a Motorola Moto X comes in with a 0.1-inch larger display, the screen experience and the general sizing is quite similar. Very, very small bezels. We've got the white versions of both. There's much more of a curve on the Moto X, despite you can't take the back cover off, don't get us wrong, but the plastic backing feels a lot more soft in the hand, should we say. The Xperia Z3 is a lot starker. It's got a metal frame. You do have plastic banding around the side, giving it a good amount of grip, and it's much more classically styled, but it doesn't feel as forgiving in the hand. Well, side by side, on the top of the Sony Xperia Z3 Compact, you can see a camera. You can see the screen itself, IPS display with triluminous display technology and mobile X Reality for mobile, engine on board. On-screen buttons and stereo speakers up top and bottom. The Motorola Moto X has a 720p display, like we said, spread across 4.7 inches, front-facing camera, and again on-screen buttons. To the right-hand side of the Sony Xperia Z3 Compact, you can see a power button, volume rocker, and two-stage camera button. At the base, lanyard connector on the left-hand side is where you can find a magnetic dock connector. The magnetic dock connector will allow for charging without having to unflap the flaps that are at the top and bottom of the left-hand side of the Sony Xperia Z3 Compact, which allows for the IP68 waterproofing. The top of the device is a 3.5mm jack, while on the flip side is that 20.7 megapixel rear-facing camera, NFC contact point, and flash. This can record 4K video, so that's pretty cool too. The Motorola Moto X along the right-hand side has a power button, volume rocker, the base of the device, micro USB connector, no buttons to the left-hand side, but you do have a nano SIM card slot. Up the top, 3.5mm headphone jack, and on the flip side, that 10 megapixel rear-facing camera. What's more, you've also got a flash and a really nice type of finish. We've got the white version, and despite the fact it looks almost textured, relatively striated, it isn't. It just has a very grippable matte feel. Flat sides, easy to hold, round back, very good in-hand experience all in all. You've got a very stock version of Android on the Moto X. It's a much more customized experience on the Sony Xperia Z3. How customized? Well, putting both side by side, you can see horizontally scrolling home screen menus. When we pinch out though, you can pinch out on the Xperia Z3 to reveal variable number of home screens and control for themes, etc. You can also pull down from the top for a notifications bar, and if we pull down with 2 fingers, you've got some quick toggles. Jumping into the applications tray, and we can see Sony's customized theirs to allow for greater degree of organization, but it's generally the same horizontally scrolling experience. If we jump into the Motorola Moto X, you can see you've got control for widgets as well. Therefore, they'll support the same kinds of applications, but there's one thing that the Moto X does, and allow for greater Google integration. So if the thing's powered off and we have a wake-up command like OK Google, it will actually listen to us and allow us to get it to tell us the time, read out messages, etc., making it more of a personal assistant than any other Android phone on the market. As far as the cameras go, like we said, 20.7 megapixels versus 10 megapixels. The Moto X camera's always been good, but it's never been great like the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact camera was, and indeed we expect the Xperia Z3 Compact camera to be. This can also record 4K video. As far as multimedia elements go, you can also stream PlayStation games to this thing from your PS4, which is incredibly cool, just like you can on a PS Vita. Connections, you're going to have faster LTE capabilities on the Sony Xperia Z3, such as Cat4 LTE. But overall, if you have an LTE device and don't have Cat4 enabled in your area, you shouldn't really notice too much of a difference. Battery life, again, the Sony Xperia Z3's had a battery boost over its predecessor, 2,600 milliamps we think, by contrast to the 2,200 milliamp cell in the Motorola Moto X. Qualcomm processors in both, very old Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 by contrast to the very new Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 dual cores versus quad cores. You've also got 2 GB of RAM on both devices. Hopefully you've enjoyed our comparison. If you've got any questions about the phones, fire them in the comments section below. If you like the video, click like, and if you like VTech in general, click subscribe. That's where you can find more of the same type of content. Thanks for watching.